Hello, my name is Resilan, and welcome to Satisfactory. In the last episode, I walked you through my expanded power plant where we built the coal power plant, and we have put in 100 fuel generators using 450 crude oil to feed into refineries, and then into packagers, and then into more refineries, and then into more packagers, and finally into the generators producing over 1,200 cubic meters of fuel and generating over 15,000 power for this particular power plant. So we walked through the build for that, what I was doing to produce all that. Now, with all of that power, we're going to walk through the first set of expansions of rebuilding some of my starter plants. Now that we have produced all of the power, we are coming over here into what we're doing with that power. And this is the starting point of a iron processing plant. Now, it is not fully in production, but it is producing a lot of goods. You can see things coming out here. I'm producing iron plates, iron rods, copper wire. We're doing that with the iron wire recipe. I am producing screws. And then I'm actually down at the very end down there, I have a little bit of leftover iron that's being synced as well. So all that's being put into the sinks. We can come over here and kind of look at the building. We have the right hand building is where I'm doing all of my smelting. Now, what all am I smelting? Let's talk a little bit about the sources that are coming into this facility. Up here on top of the hill, we have 4 pure iron nodes. We have each of those nodes overclocked at 200%, so each node is producing 480. That's a total of 1920 iron ore that is coming in there. Over here, or to the east, we actually have 3 iron nodes here that are overclocked at 250% each, and those are pulling 900 iron ore per minute between the 3 of those and bringing that into the facility over here. You can see that down here I have some splitters and some load balancers there to kind of load balance the lines and bring all of that stuff in. In addition, down there in our starting location, we have 5 iron nodes that are being brought into the facility. Those 5 iron nodes are overclocked at 200% each, so they are producing a total of 1,200 iron ore, bringing the total to 4,020 iron ore that's being brought into this facility. Now, the way I've got the facility set up, I've got the capability of processing 3,920 of the iron ore. I've got 16 rows of smelters. Each smelter's doing 30, so each belt that's coming in here is bringing in 480 iron ore per minute and can be fully consume all 480 that's coming in at 100%. Now, you'll notice here I've only got 3 of these that are functional at the moment, and I do have a little bit of a backup here on the iron ingots coming out here at the very end, which is keeping one of these from running at 100%. I need to debug that and just see what's going on with the backup there. But I do have all of these set up, and each one of these rows is set up with a switch to where I can turn it on or off depending on what I need as I build it out. It's fully built out but not fully operational. Now, you can see the other belts coming in here on the other side that are coming from the original starting area and what we were doing there. Now, once I've smelted the ore, we come to the other side of the plant, and this is where we come down here into the building that's over here. Now, this building is only partially built right now. I am only using part of the resources that are coming in, but it is fully functional in the pieces of it that are built. It starts out down here with the very first belt in that I have 16 smelters smelting ore. They are producing 480 iron ingots per minute. They are feeding those into 16 constructors here on this side of the building, and those 16 constructors are producing 320 iron plates per minute and sending that out into my factory to be produced into other things. Over here on this line, I actually have the iron ore there's a little bit of extra ore coming in here into what is coming into this belt, because this is one of the belts that only has 450 coming from the other side. So there's a little bit of extra ore coming in here to fill out the belt and finish filling it up. In the second column here, in the second row, I'm bringing in iron ingots here. This is bringing in 480 per minute, and I am sending half of it upstairs. Half of it is being used downstairs to produce iron rods. The other half is being sent upstairs. We'll talk about what it's producing in just a moment. On this particular belt, I'm using only part of the iron that's coming in. Part of the iron is being sent over here to the into the screw manufacturers. I am producing actually I don't remember the number here off the top of my head. 2, 4, 6, 8, 10. Looks like I've got 10 constructors that are producing screws. One of those will be underclocked a little bit. I believe this one on the end here, if we look at it, will be underclocked. Yes, it's underclocked to 60%. That is producing a full belt of screws going out. So that is 480 screws a minute being sent out, a completely full belt. On the top floor, we have the excess iron that is coming in here. In the first row here, we are sending down, we've got a full belt of 16 constructors. These constructors are also producing iron rods. That's just coming from downstairs, being used to feed that. Now there is a little bit of a shortage of iron on that belt as well, because belt 1 and belt 2 of coming from the other facility are only producing 450 iron ore instead of the 480, because that's one of the places where I'm getting I've split the lines up where I was getting the 900, and I'm splitting the 900 into 2 belts, so the 2 belts of 450 from that other area. Then I have over here the other belt that I have coming in here on the upstairs. This is where all of my wire is being produced. I have 16 constructors producing the iron wire. 16 of them is producing that at 22.5 a minute, so it is actually spitting out a good number. Let's see, 16 times 22.5 is late. I can't do that in my head. 360 iron wire per minute is being sent out of the facility. So overall, right now, I'm using 3 of the belts that are coming in. 2 of the belts have 450 iron ore. One of them has 480 iron ore. Doing that particular component, and what I am producing coming out is I am producing 320 iron plates. I am producing 480 iron rods. I am producing 480 screws, and I am producing 360 iron wire coming out of the facility. Now all of that is coming out of the facility on this other end down here, and is being routed out and dropped down via belts into these sinks, and then it's being sent underneath to be routed out into the rest of my plant. So that's a walkthrough of my new iron plant. Once I get this thing fully built out, it will be producing lots of iron for my factories. Basically 4,000 iron will be coming into this facility per minute and being processed, and then that data will be sent out, or those resources will be sent out in order for us to present and produce the outputs that we're going to be looking at. So this facility overall is bringing in 4,000 iron ore, and we'll be producing 4,000 iron ingots from the ore, and then we'll be producing items from the iron ore into the components that we need for iron production, which will be iron plates, iron rods, wire, which is being produced using the alternate iron wire recipe, and finally the screws in the place that I need them. So that's all that these 2 buildings will be producing. Overall, it's a very large plant, and this is the very first thing that I have actually started building now that I have all of my power worked out, and I am producing, at the moment I've got 17,700 power in my power network. Hope you're enjoying the videos, guys. This is a walkthrough of my iron. I post a video of Satisfactory each week. Look forward to seeing you next time. Take care.